Yo! Hello, everybody. Nobody's on yet. Wait a second. I'm waiting. Hello. We have viewership. Welcome to the stream, Novelty. AX10, welcome. Probably have some more coming in here. Balto, Aromi's in the chat. Welcome, brother. So today, like the last time, I don't know if any of you caught my last live stream on Instagram, but I've made it this habit now where every time I do a Graydient release with a artist, I do a live stream with them so I can have a conversation about the record. So today, we're going to have a conversation with Jasce. She just put out a brand new record on my label, Graydient. There she is now. And we're just going to discuss the song. And I do these more for me than for anybody else. But if anybody wants to tune in and watch, then welcome to the stream. So let me invite you, Jasce. And yeah, here we go. Should get in here. Billy, you guys, anybody who's on right now? Oh, hi, Jasce.
What's up?
I was just saying, anybody who's on right now should check out Billy the Wave. They make these really cool holographic fans. They do awesome stuff. But Jasce, welcome to the chat.
Hello.
We're about to converse for the first time on Instagram Live. How are you tonight?
I'm good. I got this.
What is that?
We got some red wine, you know?
Oh, there you go. That's all you need. So anybody in the chat who doesn't know, Jasce just released a record on Graydient this last week called Slip. It's a sick song. What do you think about it?
Who? You talking about
You.
chat? No, let's ask chat. No, I'm just kidding. What do I think about it? I actually really like this one. I actually really like it. I don't know how to answer that question.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping that you enjoy it because it is your record. I really love it too, and it's kind of like a what is the word I'm looking for here? It's like a obvious what am I looking for? It's a long time coming, I should say.
Yeah.
For you to have a release with Graydient because you've been kind of within the Julian Gray like YouTube channel like circle for forever, and I'm always impressed by what you put out. So I'm so glad that you're part of the Graydient Collective now.
I mean, you were kind of one of the first people to really hype up my music, so it's kind of great.
Appreciate.
It's really true.
I appreciate that I'm the first one or one of the earlier ones.
Really.
The thing I love about your music is that it's so unique and it's not trying to be anything else. It's like 100% original. And I think that's very rare in electronic music specifically. Why don't we talk about like the inspiration for the song? Because I like if I was going in to write something, that would not be like the first instinct for me to write. How did you come up with the original idea?
Ooh, this one, I don't know. Like, I know whenever I'm writing, I just want something that feels good. Like, I just tweak it till it hits the spot. What is the spot? Like, I don't know why it's ending up unique. Because I don't think I had like any direct inspiration on that one. I can't remember either because I remember I came with the beat a long time ago, and then
when you say the beat, do you mean like the actual drums, or do you mean like the whole like bass section, like the
bass section, the bass, the drums, maybe the chords? First it was that, and then like I let it sit for a while because it was so complex. I didn't know how to put a melody on it, especially like a relatable melody, like something that you don't have to work to enjoy. That took a while too, so I can't really remember the origin. I just kept trying to make something that's like discovering the song, like what's going to be right for this song, like how do you just something that makes you feel good.
That's all you can do. I mean, I just like you have such unique approach to that. Like if I'm trying to write a song, what feels good to me is like something familiar, or like maybe it's just like the music you listen to or something. I'm curious, what are some of your like inspirations then? Because
I mean,
like my mind when I write music goes to a very specific place, but your stuff always seems so eclectic and cool. So
where does yours go?
I don't know, like, progressive house, like techno, like the stuff I come up with.
Yeah. I hope you can't hear my cat is hissing. It's very
Oh, my
embarrassing.
cat is running around, beating a toy around.
Oh, that's what
So,
that is.
yeah, that's the little twinkly sound is my cat. So, yeah.
Hissing cat.
Anybody, yeah, for anybody who's just joining now, Jasce just released a record on my label, Graydient. We're discussing it. Cool. Romy asks, how did you two meet and connect? I actually am curious how you discovered my YouTube channel, because I know that was kind of how I initially connected with you, is like you started submitting songs to my live streams.
I knew about your music for a long time, and I'd be listening to it like a long time. Which one is it? I'm bad with names, like for everything. So it's not like there's this one song I listen to like all the time because I really like the vocals. My computer's right there. I could just go look.
Is it like older?
It's older, yeah. I think so.
What did the cover art look like?
Hold on, let me go look. I'm gonna look. Hold on.
Okay.
Taking it with me. I put it on a tripod because
that's probably smart.
Here, hold on.
Ancient EXE just said hello, guys.
Who? What's up, everybody?
Cody Lineage says, I remember meeting Julian in a Monster Cat Facebook group circa 2014. That's awesome. I don't know what group it would be.
I don't know what song it's not even loading right now, but I don't know. I just listened to it forever. Like I like Deadmau5, so I knew what he was doing. And come back over here. Yeah, so I was like, you got a Discord? Because I'm always looking for communities. I still am, like cool music communities, and like yours was available. I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna get right in there.
I'm glad you did. It's been great having you around the community. I think that you have like there's a few of you that are like a fresh of breath air as far as like musical style goes. Like,
did you say a fresh of breath air? I don't know. I feel like I heard that.
A breath of fresh air. Sorry. In terms of musical style, because like I love like what I do. I love like the surrounding genres, but like when I hear music that's adjacent to what I do, but not like the same, I'm always like really impressed. So your stuff also has like a hint of 100 Waters in it, which is like one of my favorite bands. So maybe that's helping your case a bit, but
yeah, probably. I think though, like since like the way I started music is different from you, right? So you started. Did you just start producing? Like, did you play an instrument before that?
So I was actually I was in band, like in high school and middle school and elementary and all that. I was in band. I played the trumpet, but I didn't actually associate that with like the music production stuff until later.
That's sick.
Yeah, that's where I originally started like music, but writing and performing music. But my dad he's a guitarist, and we had like a small home studio in the basement. So like I learned a lot of the basics of that stuff when I was younger. My uncle was actually an engineer too, but I don't know him super well.
I have a theory. That people who continue to do music as a career usually start off with like a very strong musical community, like in their family or like a strong friend group or something. So it's kind of cool to hear that.
It really does help.
Yeah.
Is your family musical?
Yeah, my grandma, she's in the Houston Symphony. My dad plays bass. My brother plays guitar. My brother, yeah, he produces. I don't think I ever told you that.
I would love to hear.
I'll send you some, yeah.
Yeah.
You might already know him.
Maybe I do. I'm actually curious.
because I know you're a violinist. When did you start doing that? And like, to what capacity do you do that still?
Yeah. So like that, I think if there's a difference between us, it would be that like I started playing, like I played violin, improvisation, like different genres of music. Like I approached music acoustically for uh really long time. It was only what I think I have only been really producing like electronic like 5 years, but I always like to listen to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, violin is kind of like it's what I do. Like I play classical music. Like I'm in an orchestra. I play weddings.
So you perform in. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Is that like your like job?
Yeah. It pays most of my bills.
That's really cool, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for cutting you off. I was just gonna say I remember like thinking about going to school for orchestral music, like performance.
Like trumpet?
Yes, and I was told that it was a very hard career.
What does that mean? You know, don't you feel like what does that mean?
Yeah.
Every time you hear that, like, didn't you hear that for producing too? Like, it's going to be hard. Like, what are you saying? Like, especially as a kid, like, what are you saying to me? Like, what is that? Everything's hard.
Everything is hard.
So.
I think that it's actually in some ways less hard because you actually you enjoy what you're doing, and when you enjoy what you're doing, it makes it easier. Somebody said, or Romy said, Jasce, do you feature violin in any of your EDM tracks?
I'm like working into it, but there's this weird thing. I'm almost like not ready because it's kind of like a strange thing. I'm getting to it. I'm like imagining it and I'm seeing how I want it. But for a while, I didn't really see how I would connect the two, especially like, I don't know, with classical music, it's so like ultra perfectionist and it's kind of like almost strange in my mind to combine the two, but I'm starting to see it. So absolutely will be.
Yeah. I actually face the same thing in my own music with trumpet. My mind almost separates the two into two different things. Like I can't see them as both the same music. It's like I'm performing somebody else's music in violin, or like I'm sorry, in trumpet, or like I'm trying to recite and like be perfect. Whereas in electronic music, I feel as though I can experiment and be different and unique because I haven't been trained in that way on the piano or whatever.
Yeah, so. It's a completely different approach. I also feel like if I was going to write a violin part, I have to write it and then practice it and then like really like analytically prepare to play it, which is not really how I write music. I kind of just like go, like, to be honest.
Exactly. Like I have the exact same thing with trumpet. Like if I'm trying to write something for EDM song, I have to like write it out in like notation and then perform it as if I was playing it like as somebody else's piece. Whereas like with every other instrument I use or sound or whatever, I can literally just, pick up the instrument and just jam basically and record something because there's no like premonition as far as like, or precognitive bias as far as what I can play and what I can't.
Yeah.
Whereas with trumpet, it's like I have to be perfect to the notation. That's very interesting.
Yeah. I think so too.
Yeah. So did you study violin performance in school? Or?
Yeah, I went to I don't know if you know, it's like a music school in Philly called Boyer, and they've got this hardcore Russian violin philosophy there, I guess, however you want to say it. And I don't know, it's a great school. Like there's a lot I could go into about it, like how to approach violin, but they're like all about like thick tone, like very emotive, very like disciplined. And then I went and they sent basically like, you know how if you have a teacher's teacher, that teacher will be pretty international. So I ended up studying in Paris too with some guy named Vadim.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty great. But ultimately, like when I came home, I'm like, now is this like, do I really want to do this? Like, I do love classical music, like to my core. Like, it makes me listening, like some of my favorite violinists makes me so happy, like purely happy. But I want to do something that basically, like, I get to relate to people more and make something that's like impactful now, like like people, not like a tiny group. I just feel like I just want to do something that's bigger, kind of. I don't even like saying that, but I think you know what I mean.
No, I get it. I get it. Yeah, that's really cool. So is that what really pushed you into writing electronic music then? Like the experimentation and like
Yeah,
the
I
ability
guess
to do
so.
more?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like I want a different audience. I don't know about you, but I started music because there was like a feeling between like the creator and the listener. I don't know if you felt that way,
Yeah, absolutely.
but
I think
yeah.
this is a sentiment that a lot of people who performed in like larger ensembles has. Also, like this is unrelated, but do you have like a really good ear for harmony?
I think so.
I I think that
Yeah.
if you perform in an ensemble long enough, it really forces you to understand like harmony and intervals at like a really deep level because like if you're sitting in your row and like they have to essentially like solo
Hmm.
quote unquote like the flutes or whatever,
Yeah.
like it forces you to understand like this is like the interval above in the chord or whatever. You know what I mean? Like every single
Yeah.
voice is isolated.
Yeah.
At least
I
that's
see.
how it worked for me. I think that it trained me a lot on how I can, utilize more complex harmony in my stuff.
Yeah, I see another violinist, Fiddle Pete. What's up? I was about to say, like, also with harmony, I feel like with violin, I think the best way to go about like intonation.
Yeah.
Is there a fire?
Sorry. No, it's just downtown away.
I feel like I really train my ear with intervals like constantly. Maybe I'm not, you don't have three notes all the time, but like that's violinists sit around tuning intervals, right, Fiddle Pete? What do you think? Am I making it up?
Yeah, that's true too. I mean, like when you're tuning strings like of your instrument, can you tune without a tuner?
I don't have perfect pitch, but like I have really good relative pitch. And
So
I
if
think
you
all violinists,
Right.
yeah.
If
Yeah, see
you get
Fiddle Pete.
that bass note, then you can tune the whole violin. Yeah, it's like I grew up around my dad playing guitar, so like I've burned into my mind like the tuning like intervals of the guitar. So like I feel as though that really helped me like get harmony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever talked about like certain chords, like how I think about this a lot with like producing electronic music because you got the pitch is set, super set. But when I was doing like ensembles, we would not always play like, for example, like a true E flat. Like if you're playing like a C minor chord, it wouldn't be exactly those notes. We would tune it
Right.
just barely slightly to make the
Like
perfect like
microtonal. Right.
yeah, because like a perfect C minor or whatever isn't gonna be exact all the time, those perfect pitches. Sometimes I think about that, like how do you combine something like that? But it's not that big of a deal anyway. It's
You
just
know, are you familiar with Jacob Collier? I'm sure you are as a classical musician.
oh
No?
no, am I in
No?
trouble?
He's like this really he's like a musical savant. He's won like countless Grammys. He has like pop music, but like he approaches it from a classical perspective. He's fortunate enough to have like a ear of perfect pitch.
Yeah.
So he can deduce these insane chords. But one of the things that he does in his music is he does use microtonality because in his arrangements, I'm sorry I didn't mention, it's all a cappella. So he uses his voice
Yeah.
for everything. And he does these chord changes where he uses interval changes to actually move the tuning center.
Yeah.
So like as you described, like one interval of a chord is generally not in key or in tune when you're playing a piano or whatever. But if you do play it that way, if you do enough chord stacks in a row, like utilizing that, you can actually shift like a half semitone up or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he does these like half semitone interval movements through, or I'm sorry, chordal movements throughout his song. So he'll start like on like a standard tuning, and by the end of the song, it's like the whole thing is either a full semitone sharp or like a half semitone sharp, because he kind of described it as like sharpness feels brighter and like more open. It's really fascinating.
Yeah. Like, how can we like incorporate that? I always wanted to do ensembles with electronic music. I think I heard one song that did that. I think that'd be the coolest thing in the world, like a quartet.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
It's a lot of work.
I've seen like I think the closest thing I know of in like pop is like Clean Bandit, which is so silly. Do you know them? It's like an electronic music pop group who has a cello player and a violinist.
Okay.
It's pretty cool.
Romeo, you know about it. Am I in trouble again? I don't know, everybody.
Romy says, Jace, do you DJ your material?
I'm trying. I have a plan by February. Okay. That's like, I have 2 more songs that I want to make, and then February I'm gonna work on like my live set and figuring out like, I don't DJ though at all. But I have it right there. DDJ 400.
Those are awesome. That's what I use too in my house if I have to record a set.
Yeah.
Is that so? Let me ask you this: like at a large, like macro level, looking 5 years down the road or what have you, what is like your, let's say your music explodes, what is your dream like live performance look like? Is that like a DJ set, or is that more of like mixed live performance, violin and that sort of stuff with electronic music?
Well, I definitely want to make people dance, but I don't necessarily want to DJ, right?
Right.
And that's sort of tricky. Like I really want to make, like, to me, because I used to go to all those shows like when I was really young, like those festivals, like really, like those really cool ones.
I think you can make people dance with any sort of setup.
I would love to be like an act that festivals wanted too. It's really tricky. Like, what do I have, 2 acts? But I know I'm really good at, like, you know, like if I brought my violin, I could do some like a lot of cool stuff.
I think there's some amazing artists out there that are basically that. Like if you think of do you know the band Churches?
Oh my gosh, no.
Okay. Do you know,
do I need to write these down?
This explains why your music's so eclectic. You don't have like
a
lot of outside influence. Do you know Disclosure?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. They do like live performance mixed with DJ sets. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did not know that, because they have like 10 singers on an album, don't they?
Yeah, I mean they play back the vocal, I want to say, just like a DJ would, but they actually have like live instrumentation for the actual tracks.
Fiddle beat. You want electric violin? Can I play acoustic with a pickup on it? Is that all right with you? I don't know. What's his name? I don't know who that is. If there's like artists you guys feel like I need to listen to, can you DM me it? That would be cool. And then I'll listen to it.
But Romy says you have a kick-ass setup for when you're headlining, and then something simple when you're at an EDM festival. Yeah, that's kind of my vision too. It's like DJ set Julian Gray, or like full live show Julian Gray.
Yeah. I would definitely want a strong live influence, but I can't skip on the if you lose the like a strong rhythm section. I don't know. That wouldn't work for me.
Have you ever seen like any of those live performances from Madeon or Porter Robinson or those types of artists where it's like it's kind of a DJ set, but it's really like a concert?
Yeah, I saw some of Porter Robinson's. It's just him, right? He
Yeah.
just runs around. Yeah.
Well, he
That's
recently started doing a band, but for the longest
does
time
he?
it was all him. But I think that that might be a cool lane for you. It's like you don't necessarily have to DJ it. Like it doesn't have to be a constant beat through for 2 hours or
Yeah.
whatever. But
Yeah.
it could just be like you play the song and it has like a cool
Yeah.
rhythm to it. Your stuff
Yeah.
has that like electronic music backing. So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I also really like I want to talk to the audience. I want to improvise. Like for me, like improvisation is so much fun and really important for me.
yeah, that's something that I wish I was better at.
Oh,
I've never been
really?
able to do it because the only instrument I'm proficient enough to like improvise at is probably trumpet, but I never approached it in that way. Like it was never my intention on trumpet.
Here,
It's always been like perform it exactly how it's written, you know.
I gotta tell you something. So I
Huh.
actually like learned violin by I when I was really young. I joined the Renaissance Fair with my dad,
No
and
way.
our job was just walk around the fair with a guitar and a violin, just improvising all day, like gypsy music. So I just walked around soloing every weekend, and honestly, it's a huge influence on like the whole way I think of music today, because that's a big deal, right? That's a lot. Like, what is
That's
it?
really great, actually.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, that's really it. Because before that, I wasn't really much of, I was probably just very normal violinist, but after it was quite good.
Yeah, I I wish that I did that when I was younger. I feel like I'd probably be better at instrumentation now. My dad loves that improvisation stuff, like on guitar and drums or what have you. But
Yeah.
I'm just so not good at it.
Oh, I don't know. Do you have to do it when you're young? I don't know. I don't know.
I don't think you have to, but I think that you know the 10,000 hour rule. Are you
Yeah.
familiar with that idea?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if you start 10 years ago and you continue at something for 10 years, you will be good at it, like objectively, if
Yeah.
you keep going long enough just because
Yeah.
of that theory,
It's like,
right? Like if
yeah, it's funny because like everything, I don't know how solid a lot of stuff is, but like improvisation, like hands down, any place, any time, any amount of sleep, let's go.
yeah, it's like I could clean windows for like 10 years and I'll be the best window cleaner in the world because I'd put 10,000 hours into it, right? So like if I had started improvisation at like age 10 or something, I probably would be decent at it.
Savage, total
Yeah,
beast.
exactly.
It's very cool.
You got to check out Jacob Collier, honestly. He's like he started at like 6 or something, so he's like insane.
Yeah, I gotta look.
Is that a mirror?
Yeah, I got a mirror.
Okay, that was tripping me out because I saw like you in the mirror and I was like, what is that?
I figured I don't really. Why would I want to show the mirror? It's weird. Oh, it's all my stuff.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. So
Yeah, I got a
when you're
wall of art.
creating, you create like what is essentially like a mood board, like a
Ooh,
wall of materials. How would
I
you
don't
just
do that anymore.
go?
I think I did it first, but then I
Okay.
just put it in a Google document, write some stuff down.
Well, I'm seeing your wall. I mean,
Yeah,
that's pretty similar to what I'm referring to.
but it's not related to, it's not organized.
I think that's okay. I mean, it really just puts your creativity out there, you know?
Yeah,
Like
I do like
it
these
allows
remind
you
me.
to
Yeah.
sit in it. Like I have some of my favorite influences and stuff up on my walls. I used to do that exact thing for like projects. Like if I have an upcoming album or something, I put a wall up of all my favorite stuff, or my biggest inspirations for it. Is that your
Yeah.
logo?
Yeah. I
The
do
yeah,
like seeing that, I'm not gonna lie. Like that's a good reminder. Because that's the album art for
yeah,
Searching for Gold, and I just like it. It looks pretty. It's
yeah.
gold leaf flu.
I
Is
was
it
gonna
stuck?
say as well. I really
Ooh.
admire your. Oh yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I admire your like creativity as well. I think that's also why we get along so well. Because like I'm the same way. love the physicality of creating like that. That's super awesome.
Yeah. It's weird. Isn't it weird how you just like, you're like, I'm gonna try this thing, and then you try to make it, and then it works, and you're like, oh my God.
It looks so good. Yeah.
How did that happen? That's
I
amazing.
think a lot of creativity is just that. Like, you have to believe that you can do it. Like, a lot of people don't believe they can do it, and that's why they can't do it. But if you you just believe in yourself enough to try, you'll come up with things
to
that are
try.
remarkable.
I have to, I don't know about you, but I have to constantly remind myself, like, just play with it. Just play. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Just play around. And if it doesn't work, throw it away. Just play. Because if I start taking it too seriously, it'll be bad. It's going to be terrible.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's the same with music too, right? Like, if you're writing with an intention all the time, you're going to burn out because you don't have the freedom to have fun anymore.
Yeah.
I know a lot of musicians that are in that position, and it's really, pretty sad. Like, you really have to make it a point to just write without intention, to create without intention.
Yeah.
And just,
I can't imagine after, like, if you have some like incredible success, let's say like a song totally pops off, and then like maintaining that playful attitude afterwards. I imagine that's very difficult.
Yeah. I think I faced a little bit of that, like 2019. It's like I had some really big success in like releasing music, and I was like, okay, I got to do this now because this is what's working. And then more recently, I've kind of gotten away from it again. But yeah, that was not a fun period of time musically for me.
Yeah. How long did that take?
It didn't take too long. Like, I realized that just following down the same path is a dead end road. At the end of the day, you'll just kind of burn out. So I'm back to like writing whatever now. Writing whatever and then putting it wherever it belongs, really.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, fortunately enough, I have a fan base that appreciates that, I think.
Yeah.
What do you guys say? Yeah. Your stuff is very very eclectic as well. Like, you have a lot of different styles to Jasce.
Yeah.
I actually really appreciate that too.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, I don't know how that, like maybe it's me finding my sound, maybe it's just who I am. It's hard to say. Don't know.
I gotta say, as somebody who's been listening to a lot of artists over the years, I think you've found your sound. Like, you have your sound figured out, and I think the sound of Jasce is that like, it's just you do whatever you want to do, and I love that.
Hell yeah, let's go.
It's cool. Yeah.
That sounds like the dream. That sounds like the dream.
I mean, obviously, like, you can, of course, like, improve your quality and production over time, but like, I think that at a musical level, you've found like what jives with you,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The feel good, what feels good. That's all I'm doing. Is that even like, I feel like it's a cheesy answer, but isn't it the truth? Like, does it feel good yet? Does it feel good yet? No. And you keep trying until you're like, yeah, that's the spot.
That's the way you got to write.
Yeah.
I think music is more emotional than people let on. Like, if it feels good and you're really into it, that's when you know you're on to something. I think that the listener can feel that too.
Like, you're like, you probably do this, you wait until you're like in the studio and your head's bobbing, you're like, oh, there, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Also, like, a Romeo, I see you. I sang jazz. I had jazz ensembles for a while too. Like, it took.
I didn't know you sang.
Yeah,
cool.
I sang jazz. Yeah, I did. That was how I started singing. I have a because my school was like right next to a bunch of jazz people, and so like it was very natural to start singing jazz. Because singing jazz is easier than, I think, playing like jazz trumpet or something. But
yeah, I mean, the voice is an incredible instrument. If you can get it to a point where you're a master of it, it can be incredible. Unfortunately, I'm not at that point. Somebody said can you talk about Julian? Who's he?
Who
What's
he?
he working on? Well, the purpose of this call is because well, my collective Graydient, which is a record label, just released this new Jasce song, so we're having a conversation. I'm a musician myself. Find me on my profile. Yeah. So
He's like, no, we're not talking about me. Yeah, he's got so much music. You should look up, Julian Gray.
I have too much music.
Do you?
I don't know. I mean, it's. I guess there's never too much, but it's just like I've released a lot of music over the years.
Is there any? Oh my God, I shouldn't ask a question like this. Is there any tracks you wished you hadn't written?
Oh boy. You know, I don't think so. I think that every song I wrote for a reason. You know, like it was a step towards where I am now, and it also like, you know, I think that every song kind of describes the story of where you were in that time.
Yeah.
So I love the idea that a song is like a reflection of a time of your life. So I would not remove any of my songs.
Yeah.
There are songs I'm glad I didn't release from like a purely technical perspective. Like there's songs that never came out, but yeah, maybe one day they will. Yeah.
That sounds good. That sounds good. Yeah, because sometimes I think about that. I'm like, I wonder if I would ever regret this. I haven't yet. You know,
I think you're too fresh to have that, but I think I always tell people this, it's a roller coaster. Like I've been doing this for about 14 years or something now, and you love songs when they come out, you hate them about a year later, you kind of like are okay with them for the next like 3 or 4 years, and then like 5 years in, you're like, you appreciate the song once again because it represents, again, what I was saying. It's like a moment of time in your life that is captured in that song.
Yeah.
And it's also like a step towards where you are now. So, yeah, it's like, I think that's something that a lot of musicians run into. It's like you have this nostalgia eventually for that thing.
Yeah. I always hope, like, despite like technical whatever, like because with violin, it was always like you might play it out of tune, you might play even a wrong note, but if your tone is good, you'll always have that. So like I feel like it's with like production, I like to think like as long as I'm I don't know which word to use except for like as long as it's emotive, like that's as long as we have that, it's all right.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I've heard some really like distorted, like it's just noise and it's very emotional. I think that as long as you're connecting at some sort of feeling, that's what really makes great music. I feel like that's it doesn't have to be like perfect in any way.
I feel like that's really easy to forget for me too, like in general, like wait, it's music. We're making like music to make you feel good.
It's really just like it's not that deep to be perfect because there is no such thing. It's all about the context of who's framing that perfection. Right? Like I always make sure to like remind myself to take people's opinion with a grain of salt based on the context of their perspective. Like my mom would have the worst feedback ever for techno because she doesn't understand it. Right? But, like if
Mom,
if you play her like a new wave song, she'll be all over it because that's like her era. I have a cool mom in that regard. She's like the Depeche Mode. Funny. Yeah. The Depeche Mode child.
Yeah. So you're saying.
What were you saying?
No, what are you saying?
I was just going to say, is your family musical as well? But I think we already went over that.
Yeah. But, they'll give me like critiques, the craziest critiques. I get the weirdest critiques. I feel like what I wish is with my critiques, I wish when people critique you, be like, Like this guy will say one thing, this guy's completely different, and then my dad says like a completely different thing. I'm like, guys, what are you saying?
Yeah, you have to take all of it with a grain of salt, really, right?
Yeah.
Like, I always just try to pick apart feedback and like if you're really good at something and I respect that that's what you're good at, I will accept the feedback on that thing from you. Like if I know a producer that's really good at drums, then I'm going to take their drum feedback, you know, but not necessarily their sound design, you know, whatever.
My dad, it's funny, like he likes my major songs, and he's like, I don't know about these songs in minor keys. I don't know. But he loves the major ones, like Remedy's like, oh my God, I love this song.
Why is that like a discerning factor?
I have no idea. I don't think a lot of people, like maybe a lot of people don't really write like songs in major keys, like kind of happy songs. I'm not sure. Do they? I feel like they kind of maybe don't, but I don't pay that much attention to it.
I think that there's probably just as many of every key, to be honest with you, or every mode, I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like happy songs.
Granted, how many songs are released every day, right?
Oh,
also,
yeah.
I just wanted to say Remedy is like one of my favorite songs of yours. I think it's just a beautiful song.
Thank you.
Love that video.
I'm going to tell my dad. He's like, I told you. I'm just kidding.
It's so like pretty and pure and like, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. It's just whimsical. Like all of your stuff has this like magic. I don't know. It's just really cool.
I just, I don't know how to take all these compliments on camera. I don't know what to do.
Well,
thank you.
You don't necessarily have to, but yeah.
I'm just gonna blush on camera. Like, oh my God, stop.
Well, yeah, I mean it. Your music's awesome.
Thank you.
Romy says, I like the mega EDM smashers that are all major and the entire club is bumping like pre-K.
Which would they be?
Yeah, it is kind of like off-putting, at least to me, when I hear a song, it's like very, very major, like textbook major. That's like a big banger.
Like I can't even imagine it right now.
There is a few that I can think of. Do you know? This is like obviously a whole different thing, but there's a remix of Baby Shark by Jasce.
Where is it? Is someone gonna play this thing?
It's pretty like, yeah. I don't know about that.
Above and Beyond, cool. Do they do
cool
it?
For what it is. That cool, like, sorry, Above does that cool like minor key thing, and then they do the modal change on the last chord. Like, I'm sure you're familiar.
Yeah.
I can't think of the exact interval movement there, but it's really awesome. But it's never like full on like major key. Maybe like I was gonna say like Z or like Diplo, but I don't think so. I think they're minor key typically.
I think
it's rare to see a major key.
Yeah, like a wide major key that does sound is We're All We Need. Is that?
Such a beautiful record.
Yeah, that's big time, right?
No, I don't think that is major. I think it is minor.
Yeah.
Man, that songwriting,
so pretty.
That line in particular is such a like powerful statement. I love it. That's one of my favorite songs from them. Yeah.
Absolutely. Me too. Yeah. I used to like listen to it and repeat. I'm like, yeah, yo, we are all we need. Yeah.
Yeah. That song is so good. If you guys haven't heard that, it's like a must listen.
Yeah.
Especially, I think there's like an acoustic version, like orchestrated. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. They do pretty live shows, don't they? When I saw them, it was a DJ set. They didn't have vocalists, but don't they do that?
They do it
vocalist?
occasionally, I think. I think typically above is like a DJ thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm from Morocco. What's up?
Welcome.
I see. By the way, I see everybody I know. I see you. I see you chatting. I see it.
Yeah,
Hi.
I'm waving at everybody.
Yeah.
It's good to see everybody.
Yeah, definitely. Where is it?
So, back to bringing this back to Slip. Did we discuss like the inspiration of the song? I guess we talked about the production, but I guess we didn't really talk about like the songwriting. What inspired that?
So the big factors, like I feel like the big factors of this song is the rich harmonies, right?
Yes.
The drop, I don't know. It's kind of, I feel like it's kind of normal.
It's cool though. I mean, the blend of the two is what's really awesome, in my opinion.
Yeah, I feel like the harmonies were really special.
Yeah.
To be honest, it was kind of funky before because that I use. Can I reach this thing? I don't know. I do a lot of sound design with this thing.
Really?
Yeah. And
awesome.
It's this terrible guitar. Look at it, it's broken.
Oh man.
It's so bad.
It's so unique.
Maybe, but I just do as much sound design as I can. Little like
Aromi
note bins.
Aromi says the F and snare on the track. Yeah, that snare hits. I don't know what you put on that, but
I don't know. Oh, I use a lot of Travis Barker.
Sounds sick. You gave away your secret.
What? It's not, he's great. Doesn't everybody know it?
So
I might have layered that.
Yeah. So what inspired like the actual lyrics?
All right. So first I made the track, right?
Yeah.
Something just feels nice, and then I say what would fit into this feeling that we have right there, and that was like I'm getting shy. Basically, let's see. Yeah, because it's kind of like, it's sort of fierce, right? It's got a great groove. And I was like, Slip, do you slip and say my name? Like, that's a really good concept. Like,
I love that.
When you're like, you kind of know your ex probably, like, they'd be thinking about you. You're like, yeah. I wonder if they would make a mistake like that. And that's like a very powerful feeling. I feel like it fit perfectly the song.
I love that. Yeah. It's really well done. I love the way you've written the song.
Yeah. So
is that the root of the song then? Yeah.
No, the feeling first, and then I attach that into it. Yeah.
Got it.
Is that normal?
I don't write a lot of lyrics, but when I do, it generally is written around an idea, a musical idea first. Yeah.
Yeah, I try to find the something that kind of like the metaphor of the sound, and it's very real, right? It's not like I just want to find something true, basically.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I think that's actually a good way to put it. Like your music is very honest. Like
it has, right? That's the only choice. I feel like I don't have another choice.
Yeah, it's very honest in the way you produce. It's honest in the way you write, and in like the selection of sounds and honestly, it's very cool and inspiring to me. It's very like it again, a breath of fresh air.
Breath of fresh air.
A fresh of breath air. Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I just feel like I don't have another choice, right? Because I mean, I don't know. How do I do this? You just make it feel right. So you search till it feels right, and that's all.
Yeah. That's all you can do. Yeah. That's
what it says before the drop. Yeah. Yeah, things that make me sleep quietly all right. Knowing you're an ex-lover is dreaming of you. I just go to sleep like, yeah.
Hell yeah. Love it. So we have the official lyric video coming out on Wednesday, I believe. Yeah. Why don't you tell
Wednesday, right?
everybody something about that so you can prepare them for that experience?
Ooh. Which angle do I start? Like
Wherever you want.
where the trip, I mean, so it's a reminiscent song, right? Ultimately, and it's like, I just felt it would be appropriate to go into the mountains, and like it's a very reminiscent place. Like you just think a lot, and I was like, it's also like a big sound. So I went up into the mountains. So I took my camera up there, and I just like got a bunch of footage from the top of Mount Marcy in the Adirondacks, and I made a big
Showing
video.
the scale, basically. Yeah. Scale of the music.
Yeah. I think it fit pretty well. Yeah. And
your tone is very, or the sonics of your stuff is so open, and you kind of play with the negative space as well in your music, and it kind of lends itself to that natural look, I think.
Do you mean like rests and like not tons of reverb, kind of?
You kind of leave the arrangement very sparse.
Yeah.
Like I guess that's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
Like the first like minute of the song is just like harmonies and minor like small instrumentation, but you leave it sparse, and I think that kind of calls back to like the natural, like being in nature and hearing all the little sounds around. That's kind of the feeling I get, at least.
I wanted it to be kind of intimate, and the video is me alone up in the mountains with my camera.
Oh yeah, and nothing is more intimate than like just a voice in a song, so
even like I know it actually confused some people, the background vocals. They're very like, I mean, I wanted them to sound very kind of not random, but almost like I'm just doing it. Like I just wanted it to sound, I don't know the word, but it would be natural, organic, not
100%. Yeah. It's not as intentional. It's very free form. I love it.
So I feel like the video went with it.
Yeah,
some mountain.
I'm excited for people to see the video as well, which is coming out on Wednesday.
Woohoo.
And you can look forward to that. That's going to be awesome. All right, so I think we can wrap this up here. We've been talking for about an hour. I typically go for about an hour on these. Do you have anything else you want to say about Slip or Graydient or?
No, I mean, this is awesome. I love it. I see everybody in the comments. You're amazing. Thanks for having me, Julian.
All the viewers are amazing.
It's very cool. I'm glad this was like I was a little nervous, about the call, but this went great.
It's a great conversation.
Yeah.
It was amazing to talk to you.
Yeah, cool.
Looking forward to talking again, and I hope you guys enjoy Slip. I know I am. And make sure to go stream the lyric video when it comes out on Wednesday.
Woohoo.
All right. I'll see you guys later.
And, bye.
Yeah.
I'm going to stream later if you guys want to hop in on Twitch.
Tune into Jasce's Twitch.
Yeah, on Jasce Plays. Bye.
All right. See you guys. Bye-bye.